Hello, my friend. Welcome to the Believe You Are a Good Mom podcast. I'm Emily Wardrop from Drop the Word Life Coaching, where we help moms of young kids drop power struggle wars to create more peace in their parenting. Do you want to be a good mom? I will tell you the one simple secret of how to be a good mom. You already are. Don't believe me? You've come to the right place. I'm glad you're here. I've got you. Because when you truly believe you are a good mom, everything will change for you as you live into the truth of who you've always been. Let's get started. All right. Welcome back to the Believe You Are a Good Mom podcast. This is Emily Wardrop, your hostess of Drop the Word Life Coaching, where we drop power struggle wars with our littles to create more peace in our parenting. Who doesn't want more peace in your life? Speaking of peace, it's an emotion, right? We've been talking a lot about emotions lately. We just finished up the Raising Emotionally Healthy Families Summit. If you are new to the podcast where you heard about me from that summit, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for listening and for your intentionality about believing that you are a good mom. Let me ask you a question. Are you a good mom? What was your first reaction? Sometimes, all the time. You are a good mom. It's who you are. And sometimes we do good things, sometimes we don't, but we're always good. Okay. So hang in there with me if you don't quite believe that yet. We are always working on believing new things. Okay. Especially that one. All right. So speaking of emotions, today we're going to talk about resentment. And speaking of the summit, if you have not been tapping in, you have been missing out. It's been amazing. I can't believe how much feedback I've gotten. I didn't think it would be that great, and it's so good. Or I didn't think I would really make the time to listen to the interviews, but every single one's been excellent. I've been blown away by them. I've listened to everyone. They're all so good. So there's a couple days of replay where you can probably not have enough time to binge all 30 interviews, but at least catch the ones that are of most interest to you. So it's not too late. Head over. The link is in the show notes to sign up for the summit, and you can for sure still buy the all access pass, and then you can listen to all the interviews at your leisure, get all the freebies, all the extra stuff that you get with the all access pass, all the things. So Raising Emotionally Healthy Families is where it's at. And Emily, the host of the summit, is doing a free masterclass tonight too. You don't want to miss how to stay regulated while your kids are dysregulated. Yeah. Isn't that what we all need to know? AKA to continue to work on. If we know, but that doesn't mean we do it perfectly every time, right? All right. So today, the emotion we're going to focus on is resentment. So my general statement, my mantra, I say it all the time, and I say it to myself all the time, is that feelings are not a problem that need to be fixed, right? They just need to be felt. So emotions in them and of themselves are not a problem, and that thinking that they're a problem is what makes them a problem. So yours, your kids, everyone, we're all just humans that have emotions as part of our experience. And when we make it a problem, when we think we need to get rid of them as soon as possible, then we cause even more problems for ourselves. So we're going to look at that specifically with resentment today. So an emotion is just a message from your brain to your body. And we got to figure out what the message is and address the message. Otherwise, it's like a toddler pulling on your pants, right? Mom, 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 mom. And so we exploded the toddler because we've been ignoring him for so long. It's just gnawing on our senses. So we're finally like, okay, what? So the sooner we can acknowledge that emotion, then it doesn't have to be the annoying toddler, right? So we need to get the message that it's giving us, or it will continue to throw that vibration through our body. So we got to figure out what the message is. We feel it through and then get the message. But that's different than fixing it. So what I mean by feelings are not a problem that need to be fixed is like when your child is disappointed about something, you don't have to quick be like, oh, here, have some ice cream. Okay, never mind. I know it's so disappointing you can't go to that birthday party. Let's go do something else super fun instead. Like that's fixing the feeling. just feeling the feeling is empathizing with them, sitting with them, just holding the space, just letting them feel all the feels that they need to feel, instead of quick trying to fix the feeling with ice cream, try to fix the feeling with something else fun, try to fix the feeling with even new thoughts to think so that they're not feeling it anymore. Thinking that feeling that way is a problem leads to trying to get rid of the feeling, which causes other problems with buffering. Buffering is what we call doing something that keeps you from feeling feeling. So when we want to buffer with ice cream or with TV or whatever, I don't like feeling this way, so I'm going to put a little buffer between me and the feeling so I don't have to feel it. But then guess what? The message has not been heard. The feeling will continue to come back. The brain really thinks that something is amiss here, and it's going to continue to tell you over and over and over until you acknowledge the message. So covering it up with ice cream does not acknowledge the message. Okay. So especially resentment. We're going to talk about this specifically with the resentment today, because resentment is an emotion. All the emotions are welcome here, right? But some of them feel worse than others, so we don't really want to feel them all the time. And also, some of them have a message that really could benefit our life if we would just listen to the message of the emotion. I also always say our body is the user manual for this earth life. So we have been given a user manual. We always say, oh, these kids did not come with a user manual. They did. It's their little bodies, and their bodies know what they need. We just need to listen to them, Like when the babysitter says, what time does the baby go down for a nap? And you're like, oh, I don't know. Just when she starts to get cranky, I put her down. Like, she knows when she's tired. She gets that message loud and clear, sends it to me, and I get her down for a nap, right? Or what time do they eat? I don't know. Whenever they're hungry. Their bodies know when they're hungry. Their bodies know. Our bodies do too, but we've just been living in them and buffering in them and all the things for so long that we kind of forget. So those are some physical examples, but same with emotional examples. Our bodies know what to do with emotions. Kids process their emotion in those 80 seconds, whatever, 90 seconds, and then they're best friends again with the person they were just very angry at 90 seconds ago. But we don't do that, right? We like to fester in the thoughts, and especially as we talk about resentment. Yeah, that's all about festering in the thoughts instead of getting the message, moving on. So let me get to it. I keep alluding to it. So for resentment is a feeling which comes from thoughts like, he shouldn't be doing that, woe is me. Resentment has a sweet little cousin feeling of self-pity. Self-pity is always right there close along with their resentment, if you start to notice this. So resentment is basically a message that you are not getting your needs met. And that is why it's a really important emotion to take note of and get the message and change what needs to be changed. So when I say an emotion is not a problem that needs to be fixed, that doesn't mean we're not going to change things, not to avoid the emotion, but just to get the message and improve our life, right? So if you continually are feeling resentful towards your husband, that means that you have a need that isn't being met, and you're expecting him to meet your need. And he's terrible at doing that, because he's not a mind reader. He's not a heart reader. He doesn't know what you need. We don't even know what we need. Why do we expect our husband to know what we need and meet that need, right? But that is the message that resentment is giving us, is that he is not meeting our need. And so when we slow it down, especially when we have a coach in our corner helping us realize what's going on here, then we can figure out what those needs even are, meet them ourselves, and the resentment towards the husband goes away because the need is met. And we're not expecting him to do it. We've met it ourselves. Okay. So that's the magic of resentment, the message. And that's, quick summary, but always easier said than done, right? So let's delve in a little bit further. So what are you feeling resentment over? Just to air some dirty laundry here and tell you all about my recent resentment. So my husband is super resentful of me when I fell asleep early in the nighttime, because I wake up early. I'm a morning person now. I wake up before the kids so that I can have a day myself before my whole day is consumed by taking care of their needs, right? I like to meet my needs first in the morning. But that also means that I get really tired early. And he is a night person and he wants to stay up all night, especially in the summer. And the kids all want to stay up late too. So guess what? I'm going to zonk out at 8 o'clock on the couch. And maybe if I make it upstairs to the kids' room, I'm asleep up there. And by the time he gets up there and I'm just zonked out, then he's feeling resentful that he has to do whatever all else he has to do to get bedtime happening and that I'm just zonked out, not helping, right? Most of my resentment all throughout the day is that he's not helping, right? And so welcome to the club, buddy. Now you know how it feels when I'm not helping at night and I'm resentful that you're not helping all day, right? And so when I'm in self-pity, right, that woe is me, you're not helping me, what is the need that I'm not getting help with? The message of the resentment is that I need some help. So I could ask for help before I just go straight to resentment that he's not helping. Maybe he's completely clueless that there's anything that needs help. Again, we want him to read our minds, read the room, read the kids' minds. But he's busy thinking about whatever he's thinking about and dealing with whatever he's dealing with in his own mind. He's not reading the room. He's not hearing the kids. He's one track minded and he's focused on something else right now. And somehow he has this beautiful gift of being able to tune out all the kids and focus on something, which I do not have. I'm hyper stimulated by every other sound in the room, super distracted, can't just tune them out. So I meet all the needs because I can hear them. So when I recognize this, then I can remember before it sours to resentment to just ask for help, right? So instead of sitting around, woe is me, resentful that no one's helping, I can ask for help, right? So the message has been received that I need some help and I can do something about that, right? Instead of even, okay, I feel resentful right now. The feeling's not a problem. I just need to feel it so I can feel through resentment every single time I think someone should be helping me. Why doesn't he realize that this is going on? How can he walk past that pile of dirty clothes over and over and over and not pick them up? Whatever it is, right? So even in knowing that emotions are not a problem, we can use that against ourselves and just continue to feel the emotion over and over and over and over, but we still haven't received the message from the emotion, changed whatever needs changing. So that's different than, oh, I feel resentful. Let me just go watch some Netflix and see what kind of extra problems that causes in my life. Because then no one's meeting any of the needs of any of the children, not my own needs, not any of the needs that they needed. It's just a big mess, right? So we're not trying to buffer away from the feeling. We just feel it in the moment and then figure out what the message is so that it doesn't have to continue to tell us, right? Does that make sense? Okay, so what else do we need to study about resentment? Let's review. Resentment is an indication that you have a need that isn't being met and you're expecting someone else to meet it. So when you feel resentful, so first of all, right, our first AAA battery is awareness. So we get awareness that we're even feeling that, because sometimes we're just so overwhelmed by all our thoughts and feelings, we don't even know what the feelings are, right? So step one in the heat of the moment is to breathe, right? You just breathe it through. That's how you feel a feeling, is you just breathe it through. Let the feeling course through your body. Notice where it is in your body. Stop spinning in the thoughts. So every time you think the thought, you release more of that feeling. So if you're trying to process a feeling through, you got to get out of your head and into your body so that you don't just have more and more and more of the feeling to process, okay? So try to stop thinking the thought for a second. Find it in your body and just breathe it through. Let it go. Then you'll think it again and you can process it again. But if you get into your body somatically, like figure out where it is, how it feels, and you'll notice that it dissipates. You kind of lose it. You're like, wait, where was it? Oh yeah, no one's helping me. Oh, there you go. So I feel it again, right? So another brain hack for resentment is recognizing that no one else can do it as good as you. Okay, let's just acknowledge that. They're not going to do it right. You ask for help, they're not going to do it the way you would have done it. So you can continue to do everything, or you can ask for help. Even after you ask for the help, they're helping and you still feel resentful because they're not doing it right, quote unquote, right? So we've got to let go of the control freak in us and just let them do it their way, okay? If we want to get the actual help. You know, my mom has loaded the dishwasher their whole marriage because my dad doesn't do it right. And she wants it done right. You got to do it yourself, right? So if you don't want to do everything yourself, you got to let it go that they're doing it wrong. Let them do it their way, okay? Especially if you want to teach your kids how to do anything, let them figure out how to do it their own way. I'm trying to teach them how to mop so that they're not mopping themselves into a corner. And they don't want to listen to me. I'm like, fine, figure it out yourself. You'll notice that your feet are going to get wet as you walk through what you just mopped. Okay, what else do we need to know about resentment? If you need some help because you're so entrenched in it, reach out. I'd be happy to walk you through the steps of figuring out what it is that you need and how you can get some help with what you need instead of just living in the cloud of resentment. It feels terrible. It is not a fun emotion. And so you do not have to continue to feel it. It's not a problem that you need to buffer away, but it is a message that we need to receive, make some changes, and then you won't feel as often. And then when you do feel it, you can recognize it a little easier. Because sometimes, like I said, when we're just in a pattern of going straight there, it's just a brain loop almost that we hit super highway, right? And we just go to it really quick. So it takes some brain rewiring. It takes time and intentionality, and working with a coach, it's totally possible. And it's amazing to come out of the cloud of resentment and be able to love. Because it's really hard to love somebody you're resentful towards. And, resentment usually is about husbands or kids, right? We resent our kids too. It's really hard to admit that. But when we're sitting around in self-pity, how come I have to eat so often? And then they don't even eat what I fix. And all I'm doing is cleaning up after them. Oh, yeah. We're in hardcore self-pity, resentment cycles about our kids for sure. So as soon as you want to admit that and get some help with it, I'm totally available. And quite the expert with my own journey that's constant. So this is good and bad news maybe, but there's no end point where we're done. That, we've mastered, we don't ever feel resentment anymore. But knowing what to do with it is so helpful. So that's just one example of one emotion, right? But there's so many others. Make sure you tap into the summit to learn all the tips and tricks and tools about all the emotionally healthy family stuff. There's, occupational therapists on there that are helping you understand where these kids' blow-ups are even coming from. We are not in their little bodies, so we do not get it. And the more we can understand about how their little bodies are working, the more tools we have in our tool belt to figure out in our detective tool belt, right? We're getting curious. Why is he melting down? And if we have no idea, then we have minimal compassion, right? And we just want him to stop. But if we're like, oh, sure, he's overstimulated, maybe there's something I can help with that. When we can figure out what the message their emotions are telling their bodies, then we can help them get the message, change whatever, so that they can get out of their loops too. Okay? All right. Let me know if you want some help. I'm a Zoom call away. You can sign up for your free RBC at dropthewar.com/appointments. And we can boost any of those relationships that you're struggling with, that you're feeling all the resentment. It could be a mother-in-law, it could be a neighbor. Maybe you feel resentful of your neighbor for some reason. Let's step into it, figure out why, and get it gone in a healthy way. Okay, thanks so much for listening. If this was helpful, rate, review, and share so that we can get all the moms of the world believing that they are a good mom. Because you are, mama. You got this. Okay, talk to you next time. Bye. Hi, thanks so much for listening. Have you signed up for your RBC yet? What is an RBC? Well, it's a relationship boost call, and I am gifting 365 of these for free this year. So go to dropthewar.com/appointments to find a time that works for both of us. We'll hop on Zoom for a quick 15 to 20 minutes, and all you got to do is have somebody in mind that you want to improve your relationship with. It's fun, it's easy, it's a good time. You're going to feel amazing afterwards. And no strings attached. Just come on, have a great free coaching call, and then go on your way. And you can come back for as many as you need, because we know it's no one and done around here with relationships. So go to dropthewar.com/appointments to find a time that works for both of us. And let's get boosting those relationships. See you there. Bye.